Brilliant. Okay, so welcome everybody to today's webinar on social media. And I'm Sally, I'm Head of Partnerships at Much Loved, and I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague Jutta, who's Head of Engagement at Much Loved and is relatively new to the organisation. So she's super excited to be on her first Funeral Director webinar session. And I'm going to hand over to Jutta to kick us off, actually, and she's going to go through a selection of, there's some really interesting information in there, so I'm going to hand over.
Oh, thank you very much, Sally. Thanks for the introduction and warm welcome to all of you. I'm really delighted to meet you all for my first webinar with you, and we're going to talk about social media today, and hopefully you will come away with lots of inspiration, ideas and hints and tips, and you will know your way around all the tools that we're offering to help you on that journey. So Sally already introduced me. I'm Jutta. I'm the Head of Engagement at Much Loved, and really what I want to share with you is, well, with Sally's help, some information on that we provide in your partner area, but really also crucial details on how social media can help you grow your business. Let me just share my slides here so we can step through some of all of this. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very
Perfect.
much. Okay, well, why does this matter? Why does social media matter so much? Well, first of all, just to look at the basic numbers here, there are over 50 million active social media users in the UK, and that makes it over 75% of the population. So it does matter quite a lot. We know now that over 44 million of those are using Facebook. And although that Facebook number is allegedly declining, it's still the dominant one, and certainly is dominant for some of the well, I want to say older, but I don't really identify as older myself, but the demographic that is more relevant for us here in the room today. Okay, let's put it that way. So really a small but terrifying stat is, apropos Facebook, is that the average Facebook user spends 1 year and 7 months on the platform. So just to give you an idea, it's an incredibly powerful and incredibly popular tool, and it really can drive business for you and build trust in your business, in your local community, not just Facebook, but all the other social profiles that we've got listed here. So Instagram with over 30 million users, LinkedIn over 38 million, and formerly Twitter over 19. Interesting to see if that number holds steady. I think there was a mass exodus from Twitter in the summer. So what's the point of all of this? What does your audience want to see then? Well, the crucial thing here is that almost half of all internet users use social media as a search tool. So in the first instance, they're looking for a service like a funeral director in their local area, and they might start with social media. And if they don't start with social media, what often happens is that they'll follow up as a secondary engagement on your social. They'll look you up to see what you're doing on social media. So let's say they might have found your business online. They find the website and they have a little look around, and they might then go to your Facebook page and see if you're active, if you posted recently, if there are any updates, and try to find out a little bit more about you. Oftentimes people will view social media as a little bit more reliable, and giving a sort of behind the scenes view into the business, so they can much more easily picture themselves becoming a customer of yours. So even though social media might not be the first port of call, it is often the second, and that's why it makes such a big difference in how you connect with customers. A couple of things here that are interesting. Now, it might not surprise you to know that the younger the buyer, the more likely they are to use social media in their decision to buy. So PwC came out with some really interesting research on this in terms of what those various age groups are using and what they're using those channels for. And so that piece isn't really surprising anyone here, right? But one thing that did surprise me for sure is that the age group of 36 to 57-year-olds are as likely to use social as they are to ask friends and use reviews when they're making buying decisions. So if you think that reviews are relevant for your business and you want reviews on your website, then you should treat social media with the same seriousness and with the equal level of importance, because it is up there on top of that list. Now, to answer that question, what do they want to see? Well, there's other statistics that suggests that 56% of consumers think that brands should be more relatable on social media. And that same survey said that you should be your relatable person self, not your super conscious brand self. And that social media is not a place where you talk at someone. It's an interactive space where the exchange of value is a two-way street. And I think that's a really good way of putting it. And we know that looking forward into 2024, brands that are publishing entertaining content on social will definitely succeed in winning more views. And if you win more views, you're more likely to get more engagement and eventually market share away from competitors that keep on publishing the same old stuff all the time. But I don't think we should overthink this. You don't have to be when you say entertainment, I don't think you should think of that as anything too uh, too
No dancing or singing.
yeah, you don't have to dance a dance or anything like that. It just boils down to providing enjoyment, and that could also mean finding inspiration, getting excited about something, feeling moved, or learning something new, or getting to know someone better. So those are, I think, some surprising numbers there.
Yeah. And with those in mind, I just want to launch a little poll for the audience to ask them kind of what social media they use. And so hopefully it will show up on your screen now. There's a couple of questions. So I'm just interested to know what social media our audience are already using. And then also the second question is whether you promote your tribute pages or funeral notices on any social media channels. So I'll just give people a chance to answer those. So not surprisingly, it's predominantly Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram.
Hmm.
No one's gone on to TikTok yet.
Interesting.
Um,
Interesting. We haven't either, full disclosure here.
yeah,
Much love is not on
exactly.
TikTok.
So I'll just end this and then I can share the results so that you can see them yourselves. So yeah, so nothing overtly surprising. I guess I would have expected maybe a couple to be using LinkedIn, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just a kind of direct split between those that use social media to promote tribute pages or funeral notices.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to the notion of thinking of it as an extension to the website, and in attracting buyers, in attracting customers. So maybe LinkedIn for that reason, and the networking power that it has isn't top of the list.
Yeah, that's
And I
very
think,
true.
and I think that's right. I think that's right in this context.
Okay, right. I'll stop sharing that.
Okay. So, really, if you're not using social media very much as yet, we would suggest that now is a great way to start. So what we're going to do today is walk you through some of the information that we can give you and help you work out how we can support you. Um, we've got brilliant resources available within your partner area, and Sally's going to talk you through exactly where they are and show you the nuts and bolts of all the information there later on. But just covering a little bit about what we offer and how you can use it first. Um, so one thing I want to mention is that uh, we've got perfect timing here, because with Christmas coming up, you could kickstart things in the new year. What we're thinking of in the lines of end of year stats. That's something that you can get out of the back of the system, and for example, talk about how much you've raised this year for good causes in connection with your families and the tribute pages. You could talk about which charities have benefited and how much each of those have raised, and which are the top three perhaps that you fundraise for. Um, Maybe highlight the local ones. They really help you engage with your local community. So those are some ideas, and you could also share how many families you worked with this year, and support that with testimonials from customers from this and previous years, and also particularly how you what you've gained from the much loved review service, if you're using that. That's available. Um, and also think about sharing individual tributes, obviously with your family's permission. Um, you've got all of this information and much more in the partner area. So one lovely example we just wanted to share here is CV Gower, funeral directors, who often share their actual tribute pages, obviously having spoken to the family first, but they share that directly on their Facebook page. So they're really engaging their wider community with this, and uh, the by it, they're engaging the community in the sense that the community of the family that have obviously been bereaved. But I think it's a really great way to demonstrate what they're doing, and talk to the community at the same time. Now, one thing I really did want to talk about today was the opportunity of these end of year social posts. That's what we're all about this time of year. There is lots of information for this in your partner area. Um, One thing that we're offering this year, and we offered this last year, and we'll continue with it, um, are social media posts that are ready-made for you and actually customized for you. So you see some examples here on the screen. So we've literally done all the hard work for you. We send you an image, and this one here that you can see was created by our design team, and we'll work out your total fundraising amount for the year and the donations that you've raised, and then send it along to you with some suggested wording. So all you need to do really is pop it on your social channels and share it. And it's really a nice way to round up the year and demonstrate the impact that you've had. Um, and well, I mean, you could even move it into the new year. It doesn't have to be pre-Christmas. So we do have a couple of artwork options available. Some Christmassy ones, and some that are a little bit more just wintry. So you could also just think of January and what you're kicking off. You could kick off the new year with some end of year totals. It's a really lovely way to engage with potential customers and demonstrate exactly what you do in the values of your business, how you look after families, and how it's about so much more than and just providing funerals. Um, so in this example here, you can see we provided some suggested wordings, and of course you're free to edit that as much as you like. It's just a suggestion to make things easy for you. If you wanted to go in there and make complete changes, that's also completely okay. But what we would suggest really what to include is positive language, and we would also suggest that you should keep it to a celebration of what you and your families have achieved. And definitely make the most of the opportunity to connect with local beneficiary charities. So you can profile them and um, get in touch with them and ask them for a quote that you could share, and definitely tag them in your posts. So that's definitely something that I would warmly recommend, because then it doesn't just benefit you, it benefits them, and it's definitely seen as a really honest and engaging post. So we have here a few more examples from last year to take a little look at, and I appreciate that the text is rather too small for you to read all of it, but we've got a variety. Some partners who've chosen to use exactly the same wording, and some who have just gone and amended it just a little bit. But you get a good idea of what those visuals look like.
I like
Okay.
how some of them have included the charities as well that have been most benefited. I'll
Yeah.
show everybody how to access that information.
Okay. Yeah. Now, having a closer look here, I mean, here you've got the charities are mentioned, and that just uh, obviously opens it up to those, but definitely make it a conversation piece with the charities that you're supporting the most. I think it's the start of a of a partnership with them. And Tom Owen here, I think they've had a mix of national ones as well as local. So I think that's that's really great. Definitely the local charities will be delighted to hear from you, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I think these are really wonderful, and I hope you agree. Um, um, yeah. One thing to add, of course, don't forget to tag us too. We'd love to be included in your posts. You've got all of our social handles here, so just pop them in. They'll be in the partner area as well. You'll see that later, and we can definitely follow up. So we would really appreciate that. And if you're tagging us, we'll be always sure to follow you back as a thank you, so we can reshare as well. So a little preview then of what this year is going to look like. A little bit different this year. Something wintry, something Christmassy, and something that will take you beyond. These have just got dummy content. If you've all raised 344,000, that would be amazing, but it will be populated with your individual numbers. Okay. So I think I'm going to hand over to you, Sally, for a demo
Yeah,
to
brilliant.
show
Thank
us.
you. So I am going to show you a dummy partner area. So this is our funeral directors, Lovell and Son. And I just want to show you where the reports are. There's not a lot of content in our reports because they are dummy. And oh yeah, so you're seeing it now. Is that right? Yeah, can you see a partner area, Jutta?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So if you just click on the reports tab, and then you'll see there's a whole different number of reports. But this square in the top right, this donations to date, if you're looking at this up until the end of this year, it will give you your amount raised up until the end of until the date that you're looking at. So that's a really quick, easy way to have a look at how much has been raised to date. This box down here, where it says most active tributes, that will tell you information on the tribute pages that are most active. So those that have most, not necessarily most donations, but most in terms of activity. So photos, music, videos, that kind of thing. So that's an interesting bit to have a look at as well. And then if you want to have a look at that, how much has been raised, maybe you've got several branches. So perhaps you want to have a look at how much has been raised per branch, or if you just also want to look at how much has been raised in the total, then this is the report to come to. And all the reports follow the same format. So you've got a filter by donation date. So you've got a range here. So you've got a whole options of different kind of pre-set ranges in, or if you want to custom it, then you just click custom and then you can put your cursor in, click on the calendar, and then you can select the dates that you want to report to and from. So if you're looking in January and you want to see how much was raised in 2023, you'll need to run a custom report for that section, and then it will show you the amount down here in total. So you don't actually need to download the report in order to view it, but the option is there for you if you want to. And then if you want to kind of drill down and see which charities have been supported in your local area, then you need to run this one, which is funds raised per cause. So the format is exactly the same. If you want to run a custom report, then you just put the custom field in there. And then underneath that, you can see some very odd charities here, but obviously this is a demo site for us. Yeah, so then you can see how much has been raised again in total, but it's broken down into the individual charities. So worth worth having a look at.
I'm so sorry.
Worth having a look at, because actually it's nice to mention particularly some of the local charities that have been supported by the tribute pages that you've set up. So it's really easy to have a look at. In terms of kind of information or collateral that we support you with, that's accessible to you via your training and support area, which you access from the Manage tab. And then if you click on training and support, you can open that up there. And then if you click on partner resources, so this website is brilliant. It's full of training videos. It's full of all kinds of information. This partner resources tab is really crucial, apart from having the webinars listed. So you've got all the previously recorded webinars. So this one will go in there. We'll also be loading up our webinar content for next year very shortly. So worth having a look in there in a couple of weeks' time. Underneath the social media section, you can then access lots of information about why to use social media, extra resources that are available to you. And you've got our logos here, and then you've got a whole series of different images that are very seasonal. So we've got some kind of wintry, autumnal images available to you. So if you want to create your own post, I mean, I should imagine there's some people in the audience that are more than capable of doing this. Feel free to use these images. They're there for you to be able to use. So you can download them and then put whatever wording you wish over the top of them. So you can see there's some of the summer posts up there, and also some of the seasonal ones. So Father's Day, Mother's Day, and then some images that we loaded from last year. So we'll continue to add to those. So please do use that resource. So that's back to you, Jette.
Thank you, and the dog who made herself heard. I do apologize. It's the typical Zoom call item. That always has to appear, so I do apologize. Also, I wanted to just check, Drew. You asked a question about where we find these on the website, so I hope that gave you an answer to your question. But if not, then just give us a shout, and we can. We can dive a little bit deeper. So I'm just going to share again. I hope you can see my screen again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So just a few more ideas. Now you know where to grab all of that information, but there is actually a lot more that you can do with us, and in terms of the tools and resources that we provide, more things that you can do that are relevant for your social activity. So another thing that I really wanted to note here is that you might be doing some Christmas fundraising. So rather than just doing the total sum of donations that you've raised throughout the year, you could consider if you're doing any Christmas fundraising yourself. For example, W. Uden here, they're having a Christmas remembrance service, and they're supporting their local hospice, the Melsa House Children's Charity Hospice. And they've created a dedication page for that. So this is something that we offer free to all of our partners. So you can support any charity you like, local or national. And it's a really lovely way to engage your community. So it's a it's a place that you can share fully branded for your business, and we do all the hosting. It's based on a template system, and you can access that in your partner area. It really just takes a few minutes to set up, create your page, allows people to make donations, add a message, add photos, and then you can share this across all of your social channels on your website. They're really popular with our whole partner community just because they're so easy to set up, and they really are very engaging. Um, some individuals might not feel they want to contribute to a tribute page, whereas a dedication page seems much more relevant for them. You can see exactly how it builds out. You can see well, your audience can see how you're demonstrating the values of your business, and it's fully branded, as you can see, and that means that it really looks like it's an extension of your website. Yeah, best part is that it's free. It's included in your partnership, so a little microsite for you, as it were. So why not? If you want to take it a step further, and you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, you can design your own social media post, as Sally just said. We ourselves, we use a program called Canva. Really warmly recommend this. It's really simple and easy to use. And in fact, this presentation was designed in Canva. And it's free. So it has lots of pre-formatted image sizes, and you'll know that that's really handy for social, because you can just go and select whatever type of post you're creating, and they'll be automatically the right size, so you don't get any warped or stretched or weird looking images. Or if, for example, you want to do an Instagram reel, it's got a pre-format for that. So you just select that. And what's more, they've also got lots of online tutorials, so you don't even need to be an expert or anything to figure it out. So that's something that you can have a play with. Go as advanced as you want to, animate your post, etc. If you're feeling comfortable with that. Yeah, so definitely would recommend. What we actually do is we're releasing all of these free seasonal assets on our support site. So please do watch out for those. We'll notify you. They'll be mentioned in our monthly newsletters. So yeah, Canva has my vote for sure.
Drew says
So
it's easy enough that he can use it.
well,
It is really
uh,
straightforward.
it's just that notion of every single channel has their own particular sizes, and if you don't know what those are, then you'll be spending ages just trying to adjust things and cropping and cutting, and it can be infuriating. So when you're creating it in Canva, you see it how it's going to look, and you get a preview of that, and it's just so much easier and joyful, and it takes all the work out of it. And really,
Yeah.
frankly, we can all do with a bit more of that. So I mentioned our much loved free assets. They're on our funeral director support site every quarter. We release these. So hopefully there'll be things that you'll have seen already. The ones with proud to be working with much loved, images like that, and various individual kind of components with different backgrounds and bits and pieces of artwork that you can use, whether you're using them as they are or whether you're dragging them into Canva and creating your own stuff in there, and adding your brand to them. So yeah, I think that will hopefully help you a lot with your posts. So do watch out for those monthly emails, because we always notify you when we're releasing the next set. We tend to do that at least quarterly. And if you're not receiving our newsletters, please let your account manager know. And we'll be sure that you're included in the next one.